Welcome back to this channel. Because the Porsche 911, you're looking at maybe one of the few sports cars that doesn't need a dramatic redesign to steal the entire spotlight. At first glance, it looks familiar. That classic shape, those round headlights, the low roof, and the wide rear shoulders are all unmistakably 911. But look closer. Because Porsche has always hidden its biggest changes where most people don't look. And the most interesting thing about this car isn't just how fast it can go. It's how Porsche continues to make a decades-old formula feel completely fresh. The first thing that grabs your attention is the shape. The 911 still refuses to chase the latest supercar trends. There are no crazy doors, no spaceship-like bodywork, and no design that screams for attention from 3 blocks away. Instead, Porsche keeps refining the silhouette that made the 911 famous. The low hood flows into those iconic round headlights. The windshield sits at the perfect angle, and the roof drops smoothly toward the rear, like the entire car was shaped by the wind itself. But that clean design hides something important. The wider rear section isn't just there to make the car look aggressive. It visually prepares you for where the real personality of the 911 lives. Around the back, that signature full-width light bar gives the car an unmistakable identity, while the sculpted engine cover and dual exhaust setup remind you that this is still a machine built around performance. And here's where things get interesting. Most sports cars try to make their engines the star of the show. The 911 makes the entire car work together. The rear-mounted engine, chassis, tires, brakes, steering, and transmission all contribute to that strange Porsche feeling where the car seems to shrink around the driver once the road starts getting serious. And just when you think the exterior has revealed everything, step inside. The cabin takes a very different approach from the wild exterior of many modern performance cars. The dashboard is clean, driver-focused, and packed with technology without completely losing the traditional Porsche atmosphere. The digital displays bring modern information directly into the driver's view, while the center screen handles navigation, media, and everyday controls. But then you notice the details. The steering wheel still feels like something designed to be held during a fast run. The seats wrap around you, rather than simply giving you somewhere to sit. And the center console keeps the controls close enough that you don't have to hunt for them. Even the gear selector and drive mode controls feel like they belong to a machine that expects you to actually drive it. And that brings us to one of the most important parts of this Porsche. The 911 isn't designed only for Sunday morning highway pulls. It can be calm when you want it to be. Put it into a comfortable mode, cruise through town, and it can behave like a surprisingly civilized daily driver. But twist the drive settings toward the aggressive side, and the personality changes. The throttle becomes sharper, the transmission becomes more eager, the suspension feels more focused, and suddenly that quiet sports car is asking a very different question. How brave are you? And here's the twist. The magic isn't simply about acceleration. It's about confidence. A great 911 makes you feel like the car knows what you're trying to do. Turn into a corner, and the front end responds. Get back on the throttle, and the rear of the car gives you that unmistakable Porsche character. Hit the brakes hard, and the car stays composed. That's why the 911 has survived generation after generation, while so many other sports cars have disappeared. It doesn't need to reinvent itself every few years. It evolves. And then there are the wheels and brakes, which tell their own story. The large performance wheels fill the arches perfectly, while those big brake components sitting behind the spokes aren't just decoration. They're a reminder that going fast is only half the job. The car also has to slow down again, repeatedly, without losing confidence. Even the tires become part of the equation, giving the 911 the grip it needs to turn its compact shape into something that feels incredibly planted on the road. But perhaps the biggest reason people still dream about a 911 isn't the numbers. It's the feeling. The Porsche 911 doesn't need to shout that it's fast. It doesn't need an enormous wing or an outrageous body kit to prove its identity. It simply sits there looking almost timeless, waiting for the driver to turn the key, press the start button, and wake up the machine behind those seats. The question is, would you take this classic 911 formula over a brand new exotic supercar with twice the drama? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more cars where the real story is hiding underneath the design, hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned, because the next machine might be even harder to ignore.